up, YouTube? It's your boy Clip the Clip, and I'm back at it. In this video, we'll be talking about certain topics that's approaching, predictions, and other events that's happening. Also touching on soft intended topics that might come off to you personal and you know things of that nature. First off, like I stated before, big event coming up Saturday. Not really watching all of the other stuff that's leading up to it. However, I have Bud Crawford defeating Canelo Alvarez. Um, I do think that in the scorecards, yeah, in the scorecards, I think that the referees will try to take it away from Crawford. To try to make a rematch mandatory or something like that. You got to think about the Gennady Golovkin situation. He was on his way down. Had Canelo fought Triple G 2 years prior. The fight probably would have went a little different. You've seen a demonstration of what I mean is when Bivol fought Canelo and gave him an L in 2022. I personally do box. I personally have experience. And yes, I am going with Bud Crawford. I feel like Bud is not just a stronger fighter than Canelo Alvarez. I feel like Bud Crawford is actually a better boxer than Canelo Alvarez. And I just want to leave that where it is as far as boxing. That's my prediction for the event. Um, any other subjects to talk about? Whether it's CGI, the weather's changing on us really fast, things are happening. It's possible people don't understand, the lunar order made, a subspecies. The lunar order made like a wolf man, and there's another underground fertility clinic that made another human being. So it's supposed to be some type of aliens that open up from that portal that they keep showing, and it looks like they could just step into here. And it looks like when that plane disappeared and them orbs like covered it and made it disappear, it looks just like that same mechanism. So you could be on the lookout for that. We see human beings have certain like filters, petrified salt states and stuff like that. So I don't know if the hole is gonna open up. Lord King Vishnu or Lord King Brahma or Lord King Shiva is gonna step through, or the Leviathan is gonna step through. I don't know, but it's just something to look out for. As far as the streets, like I said, when it comes to gangs, you see how colored people, colored folks, including the Hispanics, including the Mexicans, including the Asians, those are colored people to me. You see how we get mocked, such as the situation with Adam 22, and the originality where gangs came from. Gangs came from protection from people like Adam 22 that has a badge and that's a cop. So once you correlate that and you understand what I'm talking about, and how he's just the epitome of the opposite, and he really like means nothing to the culture but numbers. Let's just face it, when you're looking at No Jumper, if they are getting paid a lot of money, they only getting paid a lot of money because Adam brought a whole different race, a whole different following. Otherwise, telling people to drop your flags is like telling people to stop protecting the neighborhood, right? Because it was based on protecting the neighborhood. So he's a New Hampshire Canadian. He's probably a Canadian and we don't know. And he's not from this country. And he has no problem doing what he wants to do. It's like the situation with Portland. the situation with Melly. Right now, me personally, I think Bortland should be able to go home after a no contest. Take the 10 years. Okay, you see how the judge and the courts, the prosecution, and your lawyer in defense, you see how they let it be laid on you. Like you see how they jumped to a different situation when it was tampering the witness instead of the murder, and still try to give them a whole bunch of time, like 75 years for the murder, or you can get a stiff, flat 15 years for the tampering of the witness. You see that? You see how they laid it on him? And it made it look like if he doesn't take something, he has to receive something. So my point is, all he has to do is ask to be let out with no parole, probation afterwards too. Like, take the cuffs off, let me out. You haven't proved anything that I did anything. We didn't have no big trial like for Bortland. And the reason why I'm touching on this subject is because there's some misunderstanding that he truthfully might be related to my grandmother. So that's why people is watching this situation up here tightly, and people that I know, they watching it tightly because he is related to my grandmother. You feel me? You see how my grandmother got cousins. So with that being said, he should be able to just come home then. You feel me? I'm just saying, like me personally, after hearing that, they didn't have nothing to convict him on. They asked him guilty, non guilty, or no contest. So if he says no contest, right, then they tried to lay it on him and bring him on different charges, but they didn't make that clear and specific that these are the deals that split. They're split deals, but it looks like he has to face a consequence regardless. So his lawyer, I don't think is legally obligated to get that sophisticated in breaking down this situation. That's why they was like, do you want to wait another week or 10 days to decide what you're going to do? Because he was just out on house arrest, didn't get in trouble, didn't get hurt or anything from what we know. He was just on house arrest, and that's going to be his time served. That's going to be his time in. So it had to be Melly snitching, right? So if Bortland don't take nothing, and he asks what's the situation with Melly, or if he asks anything, because you could tell he's not asking nothing. He could tell, or somebody could cover it up, or he could read it. Like Bortland could tell, he could read that they covering up. Melly probably said something, and it could be leaked. That's why I say he needs to ask to be released his next court date, because you don't have no evidence. It's a no contest. You're going to plead a no contest to the murders. And that's for tampering with the witnesses. And they asking for 15 years. You get 5 in time served with 6 probation. All he has to do is plead no contest. Say no contest. And then you ask to be released. What they're going to do is, and this is the prosecution and this is the judge, this is them covering Melly and covering other facts from Bortland, because they don't want to tell it out now. They want to see if something play out. They're going to go back and talk to each other, meaning the judge and the prosecutor. After they talk to each other, you asking for your release right then and there. They're going to try to hit you with another plea bargain or another deal. You know what I'm saying?